The perfect illusion. Athena had everything anyone could ever want. She was stunning, intelligent, and the CEO of a thriving fashion startup based in New York. She walked through life like she owned it, graceful, powerful, unshaken. But beneath her calm surface, a storm was brewing. 2 years ago, during a business trip to Los Angeles, Athena met Jason. He wasn't from her world. He was a freelance photographer with an adventurous spirit, a charming smile, and a way of making her feel like the only woman in the world. Their connection was instant. Within 6 months, he moved into her Manhattan apartment. 1 year later, they were married. Athena thought she had finally found her equal. Jason was supportive, funny, endlessly curious. He took interest in her work, surprised her with thoughtful gestures, and always knew how to ground her when her world felt too chaotic. But it all started to unravel one quiet Tuesday afternoon. She came home early from a canceled meeting, craving time with him. The penthouse was unusually silent. As she stepped into the hallway, she noticed Jason's laptop open on the kitchen counter. Something about the way it was left, screen still glowing, camera bag half-zipped, made her stomach twist. Curiosity got the better of her. What she found was a hidden folder. It was buried deep in his hard drive, protected by a password. She cracked it easily. Jason never changed his passwords. Inside, she found hundreds of photos. Not of nature. Not of clients. But of a woman. A woman she didn't recognize. They weren't just pictures, they were intimate, candid, undeniably romantic. Some were taken in their apartment. Others during trips Athena didn't know he'd taken. And in almost all of them, the woman was looking at Jason the same way Athena used to. Like he was her entire world. Her hands shook. Her breathing became shallow. She stared at the screen, her eyes stinging from tears she didn't even realize were falling. Athena had built her life on control. But this she never saw coming. Athena didn't scream. She didn't throw anything. She didn't even cry, at least not right away. Instead, she did what she'd always done when the world tried to break her. She planned. For 2 days, she said nothing. She acted normal. She kissed Jason good morning. She listened to his stories about his photo shoots. But inside, she was analyzing every word, every glance, every lie. She watched how easily he slipped into character, how well he played the loving husband while sneaking away to live a double life. She hired a private investigator to confirm what she already knew. And what he brought back was worse than she imagined. The woman in the photos wasn't just someone Jason was seeing. Her name was Emily, and she thought Jason was single. He had a second apartment, one Athena paid for unknowingly through a business loan he asked her for. He told Emily he was saving up to buy them a house in Europe, and that he was just finishing up some freelance work in New York before they left together. It wasn't just betrayal. It was fraud. Deception. Manipulation on a scale she didn't think possible. Still, she didn't confront him. Not yet. Instead, she invited him to dinner. She booked their favorite rooftop restaurant, the one with the skyline view where he proposed. She wore the same red dress. Jason smiled when he saw her, so smug, so confident, so unaware. Over appetizers, Athena smiled too. "So," she said, resting her chin on her palm, "when were you going to tell me about Emily?" Jason froze. His fork clattered against the plate. The color drained from his face. And for the first time in their marriage, he looked completely powerless. I don't know what you mean," he stammered. Athena leaned forward, eyes locked on his. "You lied. You used me. You betrayed me in every way possible. And I want you to know. I know everything." The silence that followed was louder than any scream. Jason tried to speak, to explain, to spin another lie. But Athena stood up, calm and composed. "You have until tomorrow to get out of my apartment. Don't contact me. Don't follow me. And trust me, Jason, if you try to run, I'll make sure the world sees every photo you ever took." She walked away before dessert. He never followed. Weeks passed. Athena expected the loneliness to hit her like a wave. But it didn't. What surprised her most wasn't the grief, it was the peace. She woke up each morning without the weight of pretending. She drank her coffee in silence, read her emails without dread, and started smiling again, real smiles, the kind that didn't need to be rehearsed for anyone's approval. But Jason's betrayal had left something behind. Not pain. Not sorrow. Fire. Athena redirected all of it, the rage, the hurt, the humiliation, into building something new. She doubled down on her investments. She poured energy into a new foundation that helped women start over after broken marriages. She turned her name, the one Jason had tried to use as a shield, into a brand no one could touch. Her story began to spread. Not as gossip, but as a message. Strength after betrayal. Power after pain. Rebirth after ruin. And then, one day, an envelope arrived. Inside was a letter from Emily. "I'm so sorry. I had no idea who you were. He lied to me too. When I found out the truth, I left him. I wanted to reach out not to ask forgiveness, but to thank you. You saved me from wasting more years on him. I hope one day we can talk, woman to woman, survivor to survivor." Athena didn't reply immediately. She just stared at the handwriting, thinking about how twisted it all had become. And yet, somewhere deep down, she didn't feel anger toward Emily. She felt solidarity. Later that year, Jason tried to return. He called from different numbers. He sent flowers. He left voicemails filled with apologies and desperation. But Athena never answered. He was no longer a chapter, he was just a footnote in a story far greater than him. The final time she saw his name pop up on her phone, she smiled and deleted the message. She stood on her balcony that evening, glass of wine in hand, watching the city lights flicker. Her story didn't end in heartbreak. It didn't end with revenge. It ended with her, alone, strong, and finally free. Because some betrayals don't break you. They build you.